And let's get back to Max and some of his predictions here, which are quite interesting, which he recently shared on crypto Twitter. He also points out here that XRP and Ethereum are both centralized-ish, and this is why they're both verboten in El Salvador, which virtually means they are forbidden. And he says they even do ish-coin shaming, kind of like fat shaming in El Salvador. Max Keiser also recently tweeted the DHS prefers a fiat-like system they can easily hack, like XRP, referring to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. It says it is more likely that in the near future, a currency-agnostic peer-to-peer payment transfer mechanism like Ripple will be used to access U.S. dollars instead of a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Ripple XRP is based on a consensus algorithm and is not controlled by a centralized institution or government. But Max points out here, people care about their money, number one. Number two, making paper profits and centralized garbage is meaningless. And number three, XRP empowers the top 1% controlling the system. You are confusing it with Bitcoin. Number four, you admit you have no ethics, and I will pray for you, my son. Now, Max has also made some other, very bold predictions, as I commonly share here on a daily basis. He also shared back in 2021 that Bitcoin will beat gold by a factor of 100x, while the altcoins get shut down and it all goes to zero against Bitcoin. And now let's discuss that for a quick moment. The gold market cap is roughly $10 trillion. So if Bitcoin was to grow 100x in comparison to gold, I mean, only 10xing the gold market cap would put the Bitcoin market cap at $100 trillion. We know the total addressable market is just north of 700 trillion. So it can become a possibility. I also personally feel what Max prophesize right there will become a reality. Everything will eventually go to zero against Bitcoin because the purchasing power of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to go down, while the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to go up. It's simple stock to flow, supply and demand. And as we all know, we're going to be having a supply shock next year, witnessed like in no other year before. We also have, the Bitcoin halving. We also have the spot Bitcoin ETF United States approval, more than likely. The ETF analyst experts over at Bloomberg give it a 95% chance of approval, which can literally send in $30 trillion into the Bitcoin market cap. Just like that, sending the Bitcoin price action parabolic. But let's get deeper into some more of Max Keiser's personal predictions here. Let's see what I should read next. I'm going to go with from this particular interview where he made these bold predictions. Max says, if you're going to price Bitcoin and fiat money, the price is infinity because fiat money has no bottom while Bitcoin has no ceiling. If you priced it in ounces of gold, that would be more valid way to price it. I am not sure exactly what the exchange rate is for an ounce of gold to Bitcoin, but whatever it is, you can multiply it by 100 times, and that's where we are going to be heading. He also shares regarding the altcoins and other cryptos are not Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was founded in 2009, it was an absolute scarce digital commodity, and there was no expectation of cash flow, Keiser explained. Everything that came after Bitcoin is essentially saying we are like Bitcoin, but because of the way it is done, there is no expectation or cash flow. Therefore, it is a security, and the SEC has the right to shut down every altcoin there is. All altcoins are simply unregistered security sales. Bitcoin is decentralized, but the altcoins are all either absolutely centralized or relatively centralized to Bitcoin. There is a single point of failure. They are easy to take down. He also says regarding Ethereum, it's centralized garbage. Its transactions are reversible, and they have been many times in the past. It has a huge pre-mine that's dropped onto the market, which is messing up the price discovery. It's got a huge issue in terms of auditing. Nobody knows how many Ethereum there are. Facts. I bring that up a lot of times here on the show. Nobody in the world knows what the count is. Facts. If you go to CoinMarketCap right now, it'll show you the infinity sign for the market cap, meaning the overall supply. Now, he also says it's completely a nebulous number, that the supply keeps expanding extemporaneously depending upon the central committee of Ethereum that decides, without any understanding by the market, what is going to run on the networks. It's all centralized, it's easy to attack, and it will be attacked. You'll see all kinds of price movements on a short-term basis. It's not easy to understand why certain things are trading the way they are, because you have dislocations and price disparities in markets all the time. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with those wise words of Max Keiser. He also shared that in a recent interview that just 1% will cause the price of Bitcoin to skyrocket. And he's talking about the institutional money coming into BTC. So here's a few of those highlights. And then I also want to piggyback with this article. The boomers are what? New macro reports forecast a $1 million Bitcoin price action by 2025. Chiming in, we have the macro guru, Raoul Pal, and some more thoughts from Max Keiser. But back to his quotes here. Everything will go to zero against Bitcoin. And so for someone like myself who has been following this for 40 years, finance markets, technology, Bitcoin is the holy grail. It is the end all. 100% I agree with that. He also talks about smart money coming into Bitcoin, such as the oil money of the Middle East, which we all know is just a matter of time. And maybe some of these countries also adopt Bitcoin as the legal tender. And back to price predictions, here's what he has to share. Either we're going to be a small position or a big position, but we cannot ignore it. We cannot not have a position. So even 1% of the multi-$100 trillion funds available moves the needle on Bitcoin. It does move it up quite considerably. So if we get into that 5-10% range, you'll start to really see it raise ahead of the seven-figure type predictions that people have been making, including myself, because Bitcoin is an asset class. Preach, Max. He's dropping truth bombs right here. He also more recently made the prediction that El Salvador will become debt-free by 2030, and by doing it with Bitcoin. And this is where he also doubles down on that $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. Here's what he shares. Countries around the world are beginning to accumulate and mine Bitcoin as the world of fiat money and central banks disintegrate. With the benefit of President Bukele's new laws, such as making Bitcoin a legal tender, we have the ability to lead the world and arguably become the richest country in the world. Preach. Now, he also goes on to share that right here, he has been very vocal. As we know, he predicts that Volcano Energy's market cap will grow to $50 billion, exceeding El Salvador's GDP, which is estimated to currently be $29 billion. And he goes on to share that this growth will be powered by the rise of the price of Bitcoin to $1 million per coin, which he qualified this prediction as a mathematical certainty. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the prediction from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, that El Salvador will become debt-free by 2030, and the Bitcoin price action will likely hit $1 million per coin, which actually leads me to this next story I wanted to piggyback off of. This was actually published a couple of years back, and it's talking about Bitcoin rallying to $1 million per coin by the year 2025. Quoting macro guru first, Raoul Pal, the damage this does to the U.S. pension system is incomprehensible. The baby boomers will sell every rally they can to protect their last rapidly diminishing nest egg. And he goes on to share, the baby boomers are totally screwed. I have been publicly warning about this. Now, Bitcoin proponents have argued that this represents the intrinsic unfairness of the current fiat economic model, which big businesses turn numbers while employees and small businesses are left with nothing. Max Keiser has termed this neo-feudalism. Now, for Raoul Pal, Bitcoin represents a striking exit opportunity from the rapidly deteriorating status quo. Whereas gold can go up to 5 times in the next 5 years, Bitcoin has so much more potential. Quoting him here, Bitcoin, well, it's a different story. I think it can go to 1 million in the same period. I think it can go from a $200 billion asset class to a $10 trillion asset class. And he continues, it is an entire trusted, verified, secure financial and accounting system of value that can never be created outside of the cryptographic algorithm. It is nothing short of the future of our entire medium of exchange system and the money itself and the platform on which it operates. So there you have it, fam. Let me know once again, do you feel $1 million Bitcoin price is inevitable? And by what year do you feel it's likely to come into fruition? Let me know your thoughts, fam.